Right, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Precision Baseball. In this game, we're going to run a little practice game, and this is a game between the Atlanta Braves, the 2023 Atlanta Braves, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. So this is Atlanta in Phoenix against Arizona. And let's just get through the starting lineups, and then I'll talk through the game as we're playing. So leading off for Atlanta is going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. In right field, you can see I've filled in a few of their statistics that are going to be necessary to play the game. Matty Olson is at first, hitting second. Austin Riley at third. Sean Murphy will be the cleanup man and catching. Hitting DH is going to be the other catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. Eddie Rosario is in left. Ozzie Albies, switch hitting second baseman, is hitting seventh. Orlando Arcia is at short, and Michael Harris batting ninth for the Bravos. On the mound is Charlie Morton, right-hander for the Braves. For Arizona, it's going to be Perdomo leading off. Marte is hitting second and playing DH. Corbin Carroll in center field. Christian Walker is playing first and hitting fourth. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he is in left field. He's hitting fifth. Emmanuel Rivera is the third baseman. Gabby Moreno is behind the catcher, excellent catcher for the Diamondbacks. Nick Ahmed is the shortstop, and Jake McCarthy is in right field. Merrill Kelly, the right-hander, gets the start for the Diamondbacks. We got all of our cards here ready to go, and it'll be Kelly against the Braves, Morton against the Diamondbacks. So let's get into this a little bit. I've made a few changes, excuse me, even since my last video. So I'm going to be going with a D20 die. And you can see we have our ratings still. And what we do is at each at-bat, so you're going to kind of do this in a really, it's just quick and dirty math, really. You're going to add these two between the pitcher and the batter. You're going to add these two together, and then you're going to add that to the hitter. So normally it's a 50-50 split, 1 to 10 for the batter, 11 to 20 for the pitcher, and that determines who gets control of the at-bat. So everybody starts out 50-50, but depending on these ratings and how they go and how they get added to the batter or subtracted, sometimes it's going to be a subtraction from the batter, then that shifts that dynamic. So here we have a 4 and a -4, so that's a 0. So it's still going to stay a 50-50 split. So we have basically even strength pitcher against even strength hitter, right? You got basically an all-star pitcher in Merrill Kelly, and you've got the MVP in Ronald Acuna Jr. Now there's a formula that goes into each of these, takes into account, for pitchers, it's taking into account FIP, and strikeouts and walks, and hit by pitch, and I want to say there's one more thing that it takes into account, but I can't remember. Hits, walks, not hits. I took hits out of the equation. So I think that's it for the pitchers. For the batters, it takes into account strikeouts, home runs, walks, and hit by pitch. So just sort of trying to get a sense of what kind of batter is this, and if they're hitting a lot of home runs and they're getting on base a lot with walks and they're not striking out much, that should give them some advantage in the at-bat. If a pitcher is striking out a lot of batters but he's not walking a lot of batters, and his FIP is in line with league average or better than league average, then he should be a good pitcher, right? So this is sort of thinking through how can we evaluate these pitchers programmatically through a value, and then that's this value here. So you can see Charlie Morton, a -3. This is a -3 compared to the average. So I took a total of all those kind of scores against the average, put them together, and then that's what you get. So basically he's 4 whatever units below average, which for a pitcher is going to make you better, right? For a batter, If you're above average, that makes you better. So that's sort of the concept behind it. I'll have a video that shows more about that as we go along. I just want to make sure that it's playing out okay. And so we have Max Fried at a -2. People are familiar with Brandon Pfaadt, who had a good year. He's a -1, so not as good as Kelly, but and then you'll see the batters, they'll change just a little bit as we go along. But you'll see even the bottom of the order guys. Eddie Rosario had a good year for them. Albies, always a good player. Arcia had a good year as well. And Harris a good year. I mean, the Braves lineup is stacked. But as you get toward the bottom, you can see Emmanuel Rivera a little bit better. Ahmed is okay. But then when you get to the back of the lineup guys, so Sam Hilliard with a 0, basically perfectly league average in all those things. And your backup guys are basically, there's no advantage that's going to be had for the backup players. And then some of the pitchers, I don't know if we have any plus pitchers, but some of the pitchers go into the plus if they had a really terrible year. So here's this guy, Slade Ciccone. He's a +1. So you would add 1 to the batter in that instance, which would make the batter better. Okay, so that's how the ratings will work. So they're going to play off each other. It's going to be dynamic depending on which pitcher you bring in. So if you bring in a plus pitcher, he becomes a 5 instead of a 4 if we brought that other guy in. Here, the strength of Kelly and the strength of Acuna cancel each other out. So we're going to roll this D20 for that. And 1 to 10 in this matchup, 1 to 10 is going to be to the batter. 11 to 20 is going to be to the pitcher card, and then we'll roll. We'll look at our 3D10 our 3D10 dice. We're going to read them red, white, and blue. So always easy to remember red, white, and blue for us in America at least. And so we're going to roll that way. This will be hundreds, tens, and ones place. And then we have a 1 to 1,000 roll off of each of the cards. And then we'll figure everything else. I got my charts over here. So I got my ground out chart. Shortstop, second, third base, first base, catcher, and pitcher. So anytime a ground ball is hit to one of those position players with a runner on base, we'll check that out. If we ever have to play infield in, we have an infield in chart. This is for fly balls with runners on base. This is line drives with runners on base. And then this is our main sort of gameplay chart that has our player finder for ground balls, fly balls, and line drives. And it also has our double plays. We'll be checking errors on every single play. So we got all of our charts over here. They'll be referenced a little bit, but not, this chart will be referenced all the time, so I'll keep it out just right here in front of me, just so I can see everything. And then trying to think about the best game setup here for doing a video. So I'll keep that up here so I can see it. And I've got all of our error numbers here, so I can quickly reference them from the sheet. All right, let's go. Atlanta at Arizona, and you'll see how the game plays. For all the moving parts, it actually plays pretty well, like smoothly. So it's going to be Acuna, Olsen, and Kelly. Acuna, Olsen, and Riley against Merrill Kelly. Remember, it's a 1 to 10 for the batter, 11 to 20 for the pitcher. So we go off the pitcher, it's a 19. And it's going to be a 499. 499 is going to be a strikeout. So Kelly gets Acuna on the first pitch of the game, or the first batter of the game, for the strikeout. Brings up Matty Olson. Now here we have a 4 and a 3, so this is a -1 to the batter. So 1 to 9 for the batter. Really, that's what you got to remember, just one of those two, right? You just need to remember the batter. So 1 to 9, and then the rest of them are going to be to the pitcher. This is a 1, so it goes to the batter's card. 308 is going to be a fly ball. And so now we got to check things out. So it's going to be a fly ball to center field. And let's check the center fielder. That will be Corbin Carroll. He's an error rating of a 1. So he makes the catch in center field, and that's going to be out number 2. So 2 down as Olsen flies out to center field. You can't see it very well, but he's Corbin Carroll is a 1, so we look out at this 1 column. He only makes an error on a 1 to 30. So about a 0.3% chance of an error. I'm sorry. That's a 0.03 chance. So that makes him what? A 997-ish sort of fielder. So we have Austin Riley up with 2 outs, and this will be, again, it evens out, so 1 to 10. So this goes to the pitchers again. 197 is going to be a fly ball, so another fly out. This time it goes to, this is actually a pop out to third base. The third baseman is Emmanuel Rivera. He's a 0 on his error rating, and he's going to make the catch on that pop out to third. The Braves go down 1-2-3 and excuse me, in the top of the first inning, and we head to the bottom of the first. It'll be the top of the order for the Diamondbacks. On the mound is Charlie Morton. He's a -3. So this is going to be to the pitcher. A 400 to the pitcher will be a strikeout as Charlie Morton starts the game off striking out Perdomo. Gets him on the hook. You can see the card size here. Good size card. I printed these on cardstock just because I want to make sure that I'm kind of getting a good feel for the game. All right, next up is Ketel Marte. These even out 1 to 10, so it's going to be to the batter's card. 161 will be a ground ball. So this time we have a grounder to the third baseman. It's Austin Riley. Riley, and his error rating is of -1. So we have a dedicated -1 column. He's going to make that play over to first, and that will be out number 2. So we go 5-3 on the putout. Again, we don't need to use this chart here until there are runners on base. So if there are no runners on base, we just assume that he makes that play there at first. Maybe one day I'll add in a column with no runners on, and maybe there'll be some errors or something in there, or a range check. So this will be not Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll. Another even, so this goes to the pitcher. 928 is going to be a hit. And so here we have a hit off the pitcher card. Anything 793 to 1,000 off the pitcher card is a hit. So instead of going over here to the hits for Carroll, we're going to look in this little box. So this is the percentage of hits that were singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. So since we already know it's going to be a hit, we just have to figure out what kind of hit. And it is a 907, and a 907 is a hanger out over the plate, and Corbin Carroll deposits it into right field for a solo bomb. So Corbin Carroll takes Charlie Morton deep, and the Snakes lead 1-0. Christian Walker to the plate. Another even pitcher-batter interaction, right? So a 3 and a -3 is a 0. So even strength here. This will go to the batter. So a 227 is a fly ball. 375 goes out to left field. The left fielder is Eddie Rosario. He's a 0. Typically, unless this is a very, very high number or a very, very low number, the person is going to make the play unless he's just a really terrible fielder. So a 364 is definitely a catch, and that's Eddie Roz out in left. He makes the catch for out number 3, and Arizona gets on the board with a solo home run from Corbin Carroll. And we head to the top of the second inning. It is 1-0 Arizona over Atlanta. Kelly will face off against Murphy, Darno, and Rosario. Here we have a minus rating to the batter, so it'll be minus. If you add these two together, you get -2. So 10 minus 2 is 8. A 1 to 8 goes to the batter. Everything else goes to the pitcher. So this is the advantage to Merrill Kelly. 649 is going to be another strikeout. So second inning that he starts off with a strikeout. Always nice to get that first out of the inning. And brings up Travis Darno to the plate. This time it'll be a -3, so 1 to 7 to the batter. You can see how you can begin to do that math pretty quickly between the pitcher and catcher, and then you're looking at, subtracting that from 10, basically, or adding it to 10. So so most of the time, the average batters are going to be at a deficit against Merrill Kelly in terms of getting an advantage in the at-bat. So that's how it's going to be in real life, and that's how it's going to play out in this game as well. So to the pitcher, 751 is going to be a walk, as Darno gets on with a walk. And then once you get over to the card, whatever it is, then it's basically just going off of his actual statistics. So his walk ratio is 10%, and that's kind of what that's going to be reflected. His walk percentage is going to be reflected on his card. Same with his strikeout percentage, which is 26. So we'll see how the stats come out in the end, if they kind of fell within their ranges or not. For Eddie Rosario, it's a 1 to 8. And we got a 2 here. Hopefully you can see that. It's got a little glare here from the light, but it's a 2. A 499 to the batter is going to be a strikeout off of Eddie's card. So 2 down. That is strikeout number 3 for Merrill Kelly. Runner at first base with 2 down. You can see here that I've got their steal rating on the top left and their running rating on the bottom right. I don't know. It's probably too small for you to see there, but I've added both of those in. This is just off of the DigiDugout website. And so I've added, I can look at their steal and run rating on their card, but I just transferred that over. Don't know if that's actually going to help, but the error rating and maybe the arm rating, the defensive ones will be a big help. So Ozzie Albies up with 2 down. Albies is a -1, so a 1 to 9. So this is going to go off of his card. A 346 is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball goes out to left field. The left fielder is Gurriel. He's a +1 defender, so he's going to make the play in left. And with 2 outs, we don't have to check our chart. Our chart is about does the player go or stay on a fly ball in normal depth. So that's what this chart is for, if there are less than 2 outs, but we have 2 outs, so there's no need really to check that chart. So it's going to be a fly ball to left, and that's going to end the inning. And again, the Braves go down in the second. They don't score, and it is still 1-0 Arizona as we head to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Gurriel Jr., Rivera, and Moreno for Arizona. This is a 1 to 10 for the batter, so it's off the batter card. 887 is going to be a base knock. I also had a little chart that I created for the base hits. I don't have that here with me, but all right, and through the magic of television, we have that chart here. And so this is going to be what I'm calling the hit chart. So we just had a single from Lourdes Gurriel. So if you want to know where, like, what is the quality of the hit, that's kind of what I did here. So singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. So we got a single. Usually roll a D10, and that's going to be a line drive to left field. I'm envisioning this helping you decide like what to do with base runners. So if you have a single to right field, maybe it's a blooper to right field or an infield single, that'll help you know what to do with all of the base runners. So we got a liner to left. You could even mark it on here. Sometimes I've done that in the past where I mark where base hits go, or if you're using I-score, you can determine where the hit goes. So got a runner at first base. Gurriel, not a super big threat to steal. We have all of our stealing and base running here, so he's a -1. So what is that? It's about a 50% chance to make it. Got Emmanuel Rivera to the plate. Rivera is a -2, so it's a 1 to 8. So for Morton, it's coming off his card. 335 is going to be a line drive, and that liner goes to center field. So it's a line drive to center field. Let's see if the catch is made. The center fielder is Michael Harris. He is +1 on his error rating, so only a 31 to 100. So that's not here. So he'll make the catch in center field. We'll call that L8 on the catch. And then now we need to look at our fly ball chart, or our line drive chart, sorry. So we got line drives for left, center, and right. We're looking here in center field. Let's just go ahead and roll and see what happens here. 249. 249 falls in this range, so with the runner at first base, it's a red. And so he's going to hold at first base. No, you cannot take second base even if you wanted to. But if it was in a yellow area, you could choose. If it was in a green area, you have to try. You have to go. All right, Gabby Moreno to the plate. The goal of this game is to, it's not to as thoroughly, I guess it's to as thoroughly cover baseball as well, but the hope is that this is a very precise way to play the game. It's called precision baseball, so I'm trying to get as precise statistically as I can to wherever the players are. So that was the entire goal. I also want to be thorough as well, and in terms of details and things like that, getting all the details of the game in. But the first goal is precision, even if every single thing in baseball is not covered when it comes out, and then we can fill in charts for those things. So like the hit chart, you know, that's something that just kind of comes along. All right, Morton against Gabby Moreno. A 1 to 9 goes to the batter. So this is off of Charlie's card. 990 is going to be a hit. So let's check off of Moreno. 486 is going to be another base hit, and this time the base hit is to left field, so a line drive to left field. So on a liner to left, obviously the runner is not going to be advancing to third base on a line drive to left. But let's check anyway. So 322 with a runner at first base, a line drive to left is going to be no advance there. All right, so we got Nick Ahmed. He's got 2 on the pond, and 1 out. We've got a -2 to the batter, so this goes back to the pitcher card. 553 will be a strikeout, so Charlie Morton comes back tough with 2 on and gets the strikeout of the 8th place hitter, Nick Ahmed. Last chance here for the Diamondbacks in the bottom of the 2nd. They got 2 runners on, and Jake McCarthy to the plate. He's a -2 batter as well, so 1 to 8, and this actually is going to come off his card. So a 201 is going to be a ground ball. That ground ball goes to the 3rd baseman, Riley. 803, so Riley will make the play, or at least he makes the catch. Let's see if he makes the play or not. So now we go to our ground ball chart. Regular depth, we got a third base with 1st and 2nd. So we're going to check. Remember, we have 2 outs here. So 491 is going to be here. That's going to be a 5-4 put out with 2 runners on and 2 outs. So he goes the short way to 2nd, and Ozzie Albies grabs it for the out. So Riley makes the throw to 2nd. That's going to be out number 3. That's how you use the ground ball chart with runners on base. It sort of gives you an idea of where the players should go with the ball, and how the base runners should advance and things like that. So we head to the top of the 3rd inning. It is 1-0 Arizona, and it'll be Arcia, Harris, and Acuna to the plates. Kelly has a -1 advantage over Orlando Arcia. 421 to the pitcher is going to be a line drive, as Arcia gets good wood on it. Sorry. 857 will be a liner to right field. The right fielder is McCarthy. He's a -1 error, and he's going to make the play as he makes a catch on that sinking liner to right. That's out number 1. So I got to get the flow down here. Brings on Michael Harris. This goes to the batter card. Harris is a -1 against Kelly. An 879 will be a base knock. And for Harris, that is a grounder through the hole into right field. Harris is on at first with 1 out, ahead of Ronald Acuna Jr. Acuna on even ground with Merrill Kelly, so 1 to 10 goes to his card. Michael Harris is a 2 on his running, but only a 1 on his stealing. Still pretty good. And let's go ahead and try a steal, and then I can show you how it works, and we'll see how this goes. Actually, maybe we shouldn't. Moreno is a 7. Merrill Kelly has a hold of 1, so that's 8. So an 8 -1 on the, I'm sorry. Yeah, 8 -1 is a 7, or I guess 1 -8. So we take the base runner minus the hold of the pitcher plus the arm of the catcher. So 1 -8 is a -7, and then that changes. You can see how this changes his base stealing. So this is a 1. All the greens are successful, and then -7 would be over here. All the greens are successful. So you can see that unless you're Ronald Acuna Jr., who has a steal of 7, which that would knock him down a little bit, but not as much as Michael Harris. That would just make him a -1. So unless you're super fast, you're probably not stealing against Merrill Kelly and Gabby Moreno. So Acuna to the plate. This is going to come off of his card. 6-16 is going to be a walk, as Acuna patiently takes the walk. And now we have runners at first and second base, with one out. And Matty Olson to the plate. Second walk of the day for Merrill Kelly. This is going to come off of Olson's card. A 5-11 will be a strikeout, as he can't catch up to the fastball. That's out number 2. Kelly one batter away from getting out of this one. Austin Riley stands in. He popped out in his first at-bat. And here, this is going to go off of his card, a 643. Almost into the walk range, but he takes a called strike 3, we'll say, on the outside corner. Hoping to get the call from the ump, but he doesn't. And he goes down, and so do the Braves in the third. So we go to the bottom of the third, Arizona leading 1-0. It'll be back to the order for Arizona. Perdomo, Marte, and Carroll. So the sort of decide or die or roll is going to go to the batter. So 534 is going to be a strikeout for Charlie, as he struck out Perdomo twice in this game. Perdomo now 0 for 2, as he has struck out twice. Brings up Ketel Marte. Marte grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. Here it's a 20 off of Charlie Morton's card. 627 is going to be another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Charlie Morton. The old man bringing the heat. And Corbin Carroll stands in. He's the only one to bring in a run for Arizona. We got a 10 here, so these two are split evenly. So 1 to 10 to the batter, so this goes right to the batter card. 857 is going to be another base hit, and this time it's a line drive to center field. And Carroll now 2 for 2. He's got a home run and an RBI. Now Carroll runs, his stealing is a 7. For the battery, Charlie Morton is a 0, and Murphy is a +3 on his arm. So it's definitely worth it to steal. So anything greater than 3, which 7 minus 3 is 4. So anything, he's in the top column here. So anything from 101 to 980, and he's going to be safe. So let's go ahead and try to get Corbin Carroll to second base. And he gets thrown out. Is that right? What do we got? We got a 939. He's just in there. So 980 was our threshold. So he just gets in ahead of the tag. And that'll be a stolen base for Corbin Carroll as he winds up at second base. Christian Walker now. This is going to go to Walker's card. 248 is going to be a fly ball. And that goes out to left field. And the catch will be made in left. That's out number 3 as Arizona strands a runner. The catch is made in left by Eddie Rosario. Rosario, a 0 error. A 0 error rating. Perfectly average out there in left field. He was a decent enough left fielder. He had a good bat. Hit 30+ home runs. But they let him walk this year. So top of the 4th inning we go. It's Murphy, d'Arnaud, and Rosario against Merrill Kelly. This will be off of Murphy's card. My name is Murphy. 123 is going to be a grounder. That grounder goes to first base. First baseman is Walker. Walker, an excellent fielder. 261. The only time he can make an error is a 981 to 1,000, so he's going to make that play. He'll take it to first himself. And that is out number 1. Sean Murphy now 0 for 2. D'Arnaud to the plate. He walked in his first at-bat. He's at a -3 deficit here, so that'll be off of Kelly's card. 428 is a line drive. And think about line drives as a quality of hit, not just a hit to the infield or something like that, but it's like it has to do with launch angle and trajectory. It's how it's categorized. Ground ball is on the ground, fly ball is after a certain launch angle, and then line drives are between the ground ball and the rest of the fly ball launch angles. So I don't know, it's like 0 to 1 to 25 degrees or something like that. I don't remember what it is. I put it in the game guide so that you have that reference, but just try to remember that line drives are line drives, and that these are not necessarily base hits or outs as they come off the bat. When you're looking at a ground ball, fly ball, or line drive, it's most likely like leading to an out, but we just had to check them all out as they happen, because we do have hits, right? We have hits that are a certain quality, and those hits are just what they are. And then the ground balls, fly balls, and line drives are part of their outcomes, but you can have some errors and things like that happen on the plate. So they're most likely leading to an out, but not necessarily. All right, so we got a 767 on a liner. That's a line drive to right field. The right fielder is Acuna. I'm sorry, the right fielder is McCarthy. He's a -1. So 152 is going to be, just outside, just into the green. So he's going to make a play. Nice play in right field by Jake McCarthy. On that sinking liner from Travis d'Arnaud. Brings up Eddie Ross. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's a -2, so 10 minus 2 is 8, a 1 to 8, and this will go off of his card. So a 714 is a walk from Rosario, who shows some patience. Not exactly his game, but if you're going to walk him, he'll take it. Not going to be stealing second with him. And it brings up Ozzie Albies hitting from the left side. A 19, this is a 986, so that's going to come off of the pitcher card, but that's a hit. And let's see what happens here. So a 576 is going to be a single, and that is a line drive to center field. So base hit there. And he'll take 2 bases because there's 2 outs, and that puts the runner at third base. I always play with an automated play automated 2 out, like an extra base with 2 outs, but I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to roll for it. Let's do that. So let's roll to see if there's any runner advancement on that single to center. It's a 121 with a runner at first, and so that falls right into the red. So maybe that was hit too hard to center field, so he's going to stop at second base even with 2 outs. So we'll call it a single. So runners at first and second, and Orlando Arcia to the plate. He lined out to McCarthy in his first at bat. We've got a ground ball here. That's grounded to the first baseman. First baseman is Christian Walker, and he'll make the play, at least to make the catch. But let's check our runner advancement here. We got to go to the first baseman, which is this one, and we got runners at first and second. Remember, there are 2 outs, And we wind up with a 210. 210 is right inside here. That's going to be a 3 unassisted with 2 outs. So we got lots of double plays and things like that on there. But we're going to go 3 unassisted. That'll be the final out. The Braves strand 2 in the 4th. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 1-0 Arizona in a good pitching matchup between Merrill Kelly and Charlie Morton. It's Gurriel, Rivera, and Moreno to the plate. Gurriel is 1 for 2. He had a base knock in his last at bat. He advanced on a single. All right, Charlie Morton with the advantage here. 621 is going to be a strikeout. So 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks now for Charlie. And he's got Uncle Charlie working for him. And that is 1 down in the 4th. This time it's a -2 advantage to Morton. So that 10 is going to go to Morton's card. And that will be a 0-26. That's a ground ball. The grounder goes to third base. Austin Riley with the pickup. And the throw across the diamond gets him. And that's going to be out number 2. Brings up Gabby Moreno. Moreno 1 for 1. This comes off of his card. A 457 will be a liner. And that's a line drive to left field. Left fielder is Rosario. Chance for an error here. 0-14. Rosario is a 0. And we can see here with the 0. Hopefully you can see that. A 0 on his error. 1-30 is an error for Eddie Raz. He's got a 0-14. And so that's going to be an E7 as Moreno reaches. Rosario gets there, but it bounces off of his glove. Should have had that one. And Moreno is going to be at first base now with 2 down. Brings up Nick Ahmed to the plate. This will be off of Charlie's card. And 837 is going to be a hit. Let's see what kind of hit that is. Runaway die. The hit is a 259. That's going to be a single. And let's see where that went. That's a line drive to center field. So we can check our line drive chart, see if we're sending the runner or not. A 660 on a line drive to center field is a red. So he's going to stop at second base. And that's going to be a 2-out single. Got runners at first and second now as Moreno stops at second base. So 2 down for Jake McCarthy. I'm getting out ahead of myself here. McCarthy 0 for 1. He grounded out to what's his name? Riley at third base. So this is it's a 7. He's got a -2 advantage, so 1-8 off of the batter card. So it comes off the batter card, and this is a 238. 238's a ground ball. That'll be a grounder to short. And the shortstop is Arcia. Arcia's a -3 on his error rating. So a 703 is a good pick. So he makes the play. And what do we got? We got runners at first and second with 2 outs. So this is a 591. Runners at first and second to shortstop. 591 is here in the meaty middle. That's going to be a 6-3 as he wings it over to first for out number 3. McCarthy retired with 2 on, and neither team can seem to get the big hit with runners in scoring position. Good job pitching from these 2 pitchers and from the defenses. It's 1-0 Arizona as we go to the top of the 5th. We have 17 batters. He can go 24. So we'll kind of count that as a hard cap here in this game. I haven't quite figured out the stamina yet, so we'll just use it as a hard cap, and we'll replace him at 24, even though that's just like an average, or maybe we'll let him finish out that inning. So we'll see. All right, Michael Harris II is going to be leading off. He is +3, so that's a -1 to the hitter, 1 to 9. This will be off the batter card. 644 is going to be a strikeout. So Harris now 1 for 2. As he is out number 1 in the 5th. Brings up Ronald Acuna. Acuna 0 for 1. He struck out and walked against Merrill. This is going to be off his card, and this could be a big fly. 914 is going to be a double as he rips one. And that double is on a line drive to left center field as that one hops the wall. And Acuna will roll into second base with a 2-base hit. So Ronald Acuna at second base. He's now 1 for 2. Brings up Matty Olson. Olson 0 for 2 trips. This will come off his card though, and this could be another big hit. 927. Uh-oh. One is left out over the plate, and Olson hits one to straightaway center field. We had a 5. So to straightaway center field. Back goes Corbin Carroll. He runs out of real estate, and that's going to be a 2-run bomb from Matty Olson. He had 50+ home runs last year. 54, I believe, was the number. And here he drives in Ronald Acuna from second base, who comes in on the home run. He's greeted at home. He gives the Bash brothers to his teammates, specifically Austin Riley. And the Braves take a 2-1 lead on that Matty Olson home run to dead center field off of the batter's eye at Chase Field. Kelly left a hanger out over the middle of the plate, and Matty Olson knows what to do with it. Austin Riley to the plate. This is going to come off the pitcher card. 818 is going to be another hit. So Kelly running into some problems here. 491 is going to be a base hit for Austin Riley. And that is a ground ball through the left side. And he'll be at first base with 1 out. No threat to steal there. His running speed is good, but his stealing, not so bueno. Brings up Sean Murphy. Murphy 0 for 2. He grounded out to first in his last at-bat. He's got off of the pitcher card a 410, and that will be a line drive. That's a liner to right field. The catch is made by the right fielder. That is McCarthy. McCarthy is a -1, but he makes the catch. And we got a liner to right. So we're looking here. It's a 456. 456 with a runner at first base is going to be a red. That's a no-go. So the runner holds at second base. So 2 down. And a runner at first. 2 already in for the Braves. Not Murphy. This is Darno. Darno is 0 for 1. He walked in his first at-bat. This comes off Kelly's card. 847 is another hit for the Braves, as they're pouring it on here. This is a 085. That's a base knock for Travis Darno. And that base hit is a ground ball through the right side into right field. And Riley, we are going to have him take, with 2 outs, we're going to have him go to third on that since it's a ground ball. Especially a ground ball to right field, he would have gone to right. We'll come up with some rules for these things. Eddie Rosario. Eddie Roz is 0 for 1. Always with some great shoes out there in left field. I forget who he's playing for. I think Washington. Washington picked him up this year. Eddie Rosario is going to come off of his card. This is a 459. 459 is going to be a strikeout as he strikes out 2 in the inning. Chases a nasty pitch down in the zone. And the Braves put 2 on the board in the 5th. They take a 2-1 lead on the Matt Olson home run as he hit a jack, absolute crush, to center field. And Charlie Morton goes back out for the bottom of the 5th, and he has the lead. Both pitchers can go 24 batters before they would need to be replaced. Here, off the pitcher card, this is a 500. 500 is another strikeout for Charlie Morton. Ooh, that's a hat trick for Perdomo as he strikes out 3 times. Should have had him up there, but he strikes out 3 times in 3 at-bats. 496. 496 is going to be another strikeout, so back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th. Charlie Morton encouraged and getting stronger from those 2 runs. Facing Corbin Carroll. He hasn't been able to figure out Corbin Carroll yet. Still won't. A 994 is going to be another hit for Corbin Carroll. He'll have a 3-for-3 day. A 345 is another base hit. And this one is a line drive into left field as he takes the fastball in the corner and deposits it into left field. If I was playing all the way, I could check the left fielder for an error. Maybe we'll just go ahead and do that. Check the left fielder for an error. That's going to be Eddie Rosario. A 164 to a 0 is no error on the play. So Corbin Carroll, let's try to steal with him again. Why not? So we figured out Morton is a 0. Murphy is a 3. Carroll is a 7 on his steal. So 7 minus 3 is a 4. And when we look here, greater than 3 is all these greens. It's a 600, and that's going to be a successful stolen base. So Corbin Carroll swipes second again. And Arizona has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Christian Walker to the plate. He's flied out twice to left field. Oh, let's do that again. 10 is going to go to Walker's card, and 869 will be a base hit. That base hit is a blooper to right field. So coming around to score is going to be Corbin Carroll with 2 outs. He's running on the play and will score easily, and that'll tie the ball game. Out 1. So a little jam shot down the right field line. Falls in. And now Arizona has a runner at first base with 2 outs. And they've tied the ball game at 2. This is Gurriel Jr., 756. They haven't quite been able to figure him out. Still haven't. That's another base knock for Gurriel. This time that's a line drive to right field. And we'll check on that one because a liner to right. We'll see if he goes or not. .193, runner at first base, and we'll have him hold. Probably a safe bet there. Ronald Acuna is in right field on a line drive. So it goes to second on the liner. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. It's Emmanuel Rivera. Rivera playing third base. This is going to be off of his card. So 135 will be a ground ball. It's a 2-0-2, so that's a grounder to second base. So Ozzy Albies at second. Albies is going to make the play. I don't think there's any scenario where 400 something is an error. So we got our runners at first and second. It's a ground ball to second, so we're here. And we've got a 5-25, should be a pretty routine play. That's going to be a 4-6 put out as they go the short way. He gets it over to Arcia, and that's going to be out number 3. So that's the third out, and he's out on the fielder's choice. So that's going to end the inning. But Arizona does get one back on the bloop RBI single from Christian Walker. And that's going to be where we stand. I have to go actually get ready for work. But just a good sample of play from how we use the new cards and just seeing how the advantages or disadvantages affect each of the at-bats. I don't know on a large scale like how much difference that makes. I assume that over a lot of games it's going to make a lot of difference. But on an individual game, I don't know how much difference it'll make, but the game feels right. Merrill Kelly against Charlie Morton. So I don't know what the final score was in this game, but I could check that out. But that's 5 innings in the books. It's 2-2. Atlanta at Arizona. This was played on June 2nd, 2023. And we are using the 2023 cards. So just testing those out for Precision Baseball, which is a new play-by-play baseball game that I'm developing. Been developing it for a little bit more than a year and getting back into trying to push through and figure some more things out with this game. A lot of the bones are in place. It's like detail stuff now. So should be interesting. If you have any comments, leave them down in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe and you'll get notified of new content whenever it becomes available. Usually 1 or 2 videos a week is what I average. And so plenty of content for you to consume. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's super helpful. And if you want to join the Facebook page, you can go look us up on Facebook, Clark Addison Gaming Company. And that is a private group, so there's no spammers or anything like that. Answer a few questions just about your gaming and what you like. And I think it's like your favorite sport, your favorite game to play and things like that. So just so I know you're a human, and I'll let you in. Just make sure you agree to the rules and answer all the questions. They're not difficult. We're up to 50 or so people in the group, so you can post your replays there of any of the games that you buy from the Clark Addison Gaming Company, or post any questions or any thoughts or feelings you have about any of the games or seasons that we have. You can also go to clarkandaddisongaming.com, clarkandaddisongaming.com, and you can check out all the games that we have. I have another full play game called On Base Baseball. I have a quick play baseball game called Quick Play Baseball. And there's also a couple of football games on there and up-tempo basketball as well. So you can check out any of the games and the seasons that we have there for sale. Super easy to use. Use PayPal, credit card, whatever you have. And everything is PDF, so you get it immediately as a download, but you also get a download link sent to your email if you can't download everything immediately. And try to really consider you as a person who prints things on your computer or off of your computer onto your printer. And I know this game is kind of heavy color, but I tried to remove some of the color in the places where it would make some sense. So I do try to think about that, you know, gameplay and ease of play versus how much color to add into each game. So trying to think about the person at the end who is taking this and printing it so that you can play. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.